But anyways, that's it. People do a lot of talking and don't necessarily back it up. So I guess, you know what? If I'm going to give these 4 teams out, I might as well throw them out here because I did take Alabama +2 against Georgia. I think they should win at home. I mentioned Tate Ratledge and his replacement, Michael Morris, coming in at guard in order to solidify that offensive line.
I'll co-sign that pick.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I think, man, it's just going to be a hell of a game. And then the other game I have down here, I'm actually taking Eastern Michigan against Kent State. Giving 14, not even +14, but giving 14. And the reason why, you know what? I didn't have to go through any stats. I just had to remember what I saw. And if you saw Kent State, you would realize in the last 2 games, they've been outscored 127-0. And on top of that, during the earlier season, even though this is an early season, they lost to St. Francis of Pennsylvania. When you lose to them, all bets are off. I don't care what part of the MAC you're in. And then on top of that, they give up 600.
Follow the trend.
Huh?
Got to follow the trend.
Follow the trend. Follow their bad team. 616 yards they give up per game. And the rushing against their team, every team that runs against them averages over 6 yards a carry. Oh, man. What's out there? Julian Edelman, if he were dead, he would turn over his grave knowing his school is going down like that. For real. My next game, which will be game number 3, Boston College. Typically, I don't like giving these double digits out there, but let's attack it because I believe in it. Boston College -13 against Western Kentucky. And the reason for that, well, Boston College is the surprise of the ACC. Virginia Tech was supposed to have been that team. They're about to catch their beating tomorrow in Miami. They got their beating in Nashville against Vanderbilt. And they lost this last Friday against Rutgers. So, yeah, I'm taking, for no other reason at all, Boston College -13 against Western Kentucky, believe it or not. And Boston College has played better teams and have won against those better teams. Not that Florida State was one of them. It just happens to be Florida State was one of them. And then finally, I will go with Michigan giving 9.5 against Minnesota. And only because what I saw last week with Michigan when I underestimated them and took USC even in the big house, I didn't think there was too much to it. That defense, the offense might not be there like last year, but that defense is there. And that defense has all the makers now in Big Ten play to be dominant. Yeah, last week was Big Ten play, but that was more historic Big Ten play because it was USC, which is coming from the Pac-12. And you look at Alex Orji is still starting right now. We see he doesn't throw that well. He's still a young guy, but he has athleticism out the wazoo. A solid offensive line this year because it was fantastic last year, only because guys have graduated. Only one backup who got playing time last year is starting on the offensive line this year, at least going into the season. Khalil Mullins, the running back last week against USC, who just took over the game. Everyone expected Donovan Edwards. It wasn't him. It was Khalil Mullins. He took it, did well with it. Will Johnson, I believe, is off the injury report now. He got injured with some undisclosed injury last week. It seems like he may be back for this game. And Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. If I forgot about that defense, it's all on me because those 2 guys up front, those are first rounders waiting to happen. It looks like 2 freaking Ted Washingtons on a 4-3. That's what it looks like. But that's how it is, and those are the 4 games I got. So recap, Alabama +2 at home, Eastern Michigan giving 14 to Kent State. On the road, Boston College at home 13 against Western Kentucky, and Michigan giving 9.5 at home against Minnesota. They should be able to put a nice whooping on Minnesota, and that defense should be able to hold serve.